Coupling and uncoupling procedure. Mercedes Benz Actros fitted with Air Release Jost fixed fifth wheel. This procedure of coupling and uncoupling a Mercedes Benz Actros prime mover and semi-trailer is proudly sponsored by Jost Australia, who actively promote safe trucking around the nation. If not performed correctly, this vitally important task can lead to serious accidents, injury and vehicle damage. During this procedure, you should always enter and exit the cabin using 3 points of contact. Coupling. Step 1. Inspect fifth wheel for open jaw. Before coupling the prime mover to the trailer, you should do the following inspection. Check the skid plate, kingpin, turntable, fifth wheel and jaws for damage and size, that is 50mm or 90mm. Make sure the lock bar is not visible in the throat of the fifth wheel. This is known as the open position.
Here we have the JSK 37 series turntable, and we're just going to point out some of the main features that go together to lock around the trailer kingpin and make sure that the trailer kingpin's locked into the fifth wheel and it's safe. So we have the wear ring in the top here. Below that we have the lock jaw, which we painted red so that it stands out. And then we've chromed the lock bar, so again, so it stands out, so it's quite visible. That's the fifth wheel's fully locked up there at the moment. The lock jaw's in the closed position, the lock bar's gone across behind to hold it shut. Just to show you those components out of the fifth wheel, here we have our wear ring. That's the one that sits in the top. We have the lock jaw. That's the red device that's located underneath. It swings open and closed, works on a pivot pin here. And once that lock jaw is closed, our lock bar then goes across behind and that forms a positive lock. We open the fifth wheel up. You'll see the lock bar gets retracted back out. That's allowed our lock jaw to swing into the open position.
If the lock bar is visible, lift the missile switch latch located on the dash and activate the switch to open the fifth wheel jaw. On some models, a light on the dash may illuminate when the switch is activated. Now the fifth wheel is in the open position and the jaw and lock bar are set to accept the trailer kingpin. For a fixed fifth wheel, make sure the top plate is well greased and non-metallic plate is not damaged. Check that the coupling hoses and cables are clear of the turntable and in good condition. Visually inspect the trailer for protruding hazards that may cause injury or damage to the vehicle. Step 2. Connect. Reverse the prime mover into position straight in front of the trailer. Use your mirrors to line up the sides of the trailer with the outer sides of the prime mover's mudguards and reverse back so that the rear mudguards on the prime mover are in line with the front of the trailer. Apply the park brake. Get out of the cabin using 3 points of contact. Visually check the fifth wheel and kingpin are lined up. Check that the height of the trailer skid plate is at least the same height as the fifth wheel. If the trailer is too low, the prime mover chassis and turntable can hit the trailer front and cause damage to airlines, electrical connections and body of van. If this is the case, wind the trailer up. Lower the airbags. Release the park brake and select low reverse. And then slowly reverse the prime mover until the fifth wheel is under the skid plate, stopping with the front of the trailer in line with the front guards. This prevents all the grease being scraped off the top of the fifth wheel. Exit the cabin and walk back towards the rear of the fifth wheel to visually check that the trailer kingpin is just short of the fifth wheel V section. If this is the case, raise the airbags to the normal ride height with the height controller. When raising or lowering airbags, the driver must be out of the cabin. Now, wind the landing legs up until the feet are clear of the ground, approximately 100mm, ensuring there is no air gap between the skid plate and the fifth wheel. This visual check is critical to ensure a positive coupling connection. and will eliminate any possible false coupling or damage to the fifth wheel and kingpin. Once you are satisfied it is safe to continue coupling. Resume slow reverse under the trailer until the fifth wheel jaws lock around the kingpin. You should hear a distinct clunk as the jaws close and lock into place. Step 3. Test. Tug test. Check the trailer is locked on by selecting first gear and gently apply pressure to the accelerator. The prime mover should not move. Return the gear selection to neutral and apply the park brake. Get out and visually check that the red coupling release indicator is fully covered by either the metal or green lock engagement tab. Use a flashlight if necessary and go under the trailer and look into the back of the throat of the fifth wheel. The locking mechanism should be engaged across the entire throat of the fifth wheel and secured around the kingpin. Make sure the bottom flange of the pin is not sitting on top of jaws. Also, the trailer is sitting firmly on the fifth wheel by checking there is no air gap between the fifth wheel and the trailer skid plate. Raise the landing gear. Keep winding until fully raised. Leave the landing gear engaged. Make sure the handle is properly stowed or damage can occur. Connect air hoses and electrical cables. When connecting air lines, ensure the connection tabs are locked on the joiners, 1/4 turn. If fitted, the shut-off valves are turned on to supply air and charge to the trailer. Check to ensure that all lights on the trailer are working. Step 4. Final check. Before moving off, do a second tug test by applying the trailer brakes and again taking up the friction point in first gear. This is to confirm your trailer is securely hitched and the trailer brakes are serviceable. As you move forward at low speed, no more than 5 km/h in a straight line, do a third tug test by slowly applying pressure to the trailer brake handpiece. This confirms that the trailer is securely hitched and the supply and service pressure to the trailer brakes have reached operating levels. On trailers with and airbag suspension, the trailer should dip slightly to confirm that the brakes are adjusted correctly. Uncoupling procedure. Step 1. Before uncoupling. Position. Make sure your combination is parked on a level surface, which is firm enough to support the trailer landing gear and its load. If you have to uncouple on soft ground, put a suitable strong timber or other flat supports under the landing gear. Make sure the prime mover and semi-trailer are in a straight line and apply the maxi brakes on the prime mover. Step 2. Disconnect cables and lines. Disconnect the air hoses and electrical cables from the trailer. Stow them properly on the prime mover, making sure that the connectors are kept free of water and dust and that they cannot get caught on the tail shaft. Make sure air supply taps are turned off if fitted. Lower the landing gear until the supports are in contact with the ground. Ensure a visual check is conducted to make sure both legs have been lowered. Step 3. Release the jaw. To release the fifth wheel jaws, apply the park brake, lift the missile switch latch and raise the switch upwards for a few seconds. This will activate the Jost Air Release mechanism. Now the fifth wheel is in the open position and the red coupling release indicator will be visible. If the release mechanism is not open, the jaws may be under load. Take the pressure off by rocking the prime mover forward and back and then try the release procedure again. There is a pull handle fitted to manually release the mechanism if required. On certain B-double trailers fitted with Jost Air Release fifth wheels, an air release button is installed in a convenient location by the trailer manufacturer. You will need to refer to the specific trailer manufacturer's handbook for details. Step 4. Drive forward. Release the prime mover parking brake and slowly drive forward 10 to 20 centimeters in a straight line. Dump the airbags. Wait until there is a gap between the trailer skid plate and the top of the fifth wheel. This ensures the trailer is sitting firmly on the landing gear. If not, it provides the opportunity to rectify the situation without any damage to the equipment. Then drive forward until the fifth wheel is just clear of the trailer skid plate. Make sure the trailer stays put. Ensure the airbags are down prior to completely clearing the trailer. If they are still fully inflated, damage may occur to the mudguards and the trailer, or the kingpin could get hooked on the rear cross member of the prime mover chassis. After the prime mover has completely cleared the trailer, reset the airbags to the normal travelling height. At the end of your shift, or when parking the vehicle for any length of time and you intend disconnecting the trailer, always ensure the prime mover has been uncoupled as per the company procedure, with the rear suspension airbags reset to their normal ride height and the prime mover pulled clear of the trailer. Failure to comply with this procedure will result in disciplinary action being taken against individuals causing damage through negligence. Special thanks to Jost Australia, Maxitrans, Daimler Trucks and Toll for their assistance compiling this procedure. Visit www.jostaustralia.com.au for guidance. This has been another Quality Safety Resources training production.